Well, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz has downplayed the tensions with US President Donald Trump after Washington announced a troop drawdown in Germany. He reaffirmed that US is central to the NATO despite the differences in opinion. Merz's latest statement came in an interview with Germany's public broadcaster on Sunday, despite the spat between the two leaders over the war in Iran. He said that he is convinced that the Americans are important partners for Germany, the most important ones actually in the North Atlantic Alliance, in his words.
I have to accept that the American president holds a different view on these issues than we do, but that does not alter the fact that I remain convinced that the Americans are important partners for us, the most important ones in the North Atlantic Alliance, and that we have a shared interest in Europe and America working together to end this conflict and then, for example, to end the conflict, the war in Ukraine.
When asked whether US plans to reduce its troops in Germany had anything to do with a war of words between the two leaders over Iran, Merz downplayed the spat, saying it was nothing new and that the controversy may be being exaggerated.
There is a contingent of American soldiers in Europe whom Joe Biden has stationed here on a temporary basis. There has been talk of their withdrawal for quite some time now. We also received a commitment from Joe Biden that we would receive Tomahawk missiles. Donald Trump has never repeated that. He has not yet given us that commitment. So not everything we've been hearing over the last few days is actually new. It may be being exaggerated a bit, but it's nothing new.
Now, the criticism of the US-Israeli war against Iran from the German Chancellor and other European leaders has angered Trump. The latest rift came on April 27 after Merz said that Iran was humiliating Washington at the negotiating table. It definitely triggered a series of angry responses from US President, including Trump's claim that Merz was doing a terrible job as Chancellor. Trump's criticism of European leaders has not been confined to him. He previously ridiculed British Prime Minister Keir Starmer and on Thursday told reporters that Italy has not been of any help to the United States and Spain has been absolutely horrible. Merz, however, insisted that he still shares Trump's goal of ensuring Iran never obtains a nuclear weapon, even if he has criticized the US handling of the conflict.
We have a different view of this war. That is no secret. I am not alone in this. We have a common aim, and that aim must be Iran must not be allowed to acquire the atomic bomb, and that is what we are working together to achieve.
Well, the German Chancellor also commented on Trump's announcement to impose a 25% tariff on vehicles from the EU set to take effect as early as next week. He said the US president was becoming impatient as Germany had already reached an agreement with US, but Europe still needed to finalize the agreement in order for it to be signed.
Well, I'd say he's getting impatient because we reached an agreement with America last August to conclude a customs agreement. And on the European side, new conditions keep being put forward, and we haven't signed it. The Americans have finalized it, but the Europeans haven't. And that's why I hope we can reach an agreement here as quickly as possible.